I'm honored to be here. We're gonna have dinner and just chop it up. It's January coats. She has a school to teach other aspiring realtors to become, brokers, investors, whatever you want to say. And she also has her own brokerage, and she has a pop up where she gives back to the community. What started you on this journey? Like, what's your background? Where'd you grow up at? Where'd you come from? All that good stuff.
So I laughed because technically I am from Maryland.
Maryland? No, that's new for me because I was mentioning in Fredericksburg.
Okay, so I was no, I'm definitely not from Fredericksburg. not in a mean way, but I was born in Maryland. But I grew up uptown, Northwest Washington D.C. But then when I was 4, I moved to Florida. Lived in Florida until I was 12. Then I moved to Germany.
And so you had to be a military brat.
No, my mom just loved to travel like she does now, and even when I was 12, she had the same passion she does now. German schools put you behind 2 years, so they were gonna put me in the 4th grade, and I cried every day, and I called my dad, and I told my dad, like, you can't let us live in Germany.
So hold on, you were in the 6th grade. They put you back to the 4th grade.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I called my dad and was like, "You guys stop my mom."
Probably because you gotta learn the curriculum.
No, they're that much more advanced than us.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So when did you settle? Where did you settle down at when you was around, the 16, 17, 18-year-old range? When you settled down at?
Fredericksburg.
Yeah, unfortunately, right. There's nothing wrong with Fredericksburg, man. We're talking about
I won't say it like that. Why I said Fredericksburg was because I was living in Maryland, and at that time there was a lot of stuff going on. I was living in one of the top 10 drug infested areas 90s. In the country.
An alarming drug bust in Prince George's County, targeting a home known in the community simply as the Yard.
Yeah, 90s.
I figured that.
One of the top 10 murder capital places in the
Baltimore is
country.
pretty bad too.
No, I wasn't in Baltimore. I was PG County.
Sorry, we had to take a break, get a munch. She got all this delicious food over here. Okay, to pick up where we left off at, you come up, moved to Fredericksburg, 17, 18, graduated JM?
No. When we first moved down here, I went to Cortland, but I ended up going into independent living.
I went to Cortland too.
I ended up going into independent living. I think like living in Maryland and being inner city youth and all of that stuff, by the time my mom moved me to Fredericksburg, I was like, this don't work for us.
I don't remember you being bad.
I wasn't bad. I just wasn't for the stuff.
Yeah, but I remember you.
No, I mean, like literally, I wasn't bad. I just wasn't for the stuff. I mean, like when I think like even in my nonprofit and a lot of what I do for the community, I think people look at a Virginianized person and don't realize that I'm not from Virginia. I'm from the inner city. Like, I'm not from Baltimore per se, but being from DC, Maryland, growing up in Miami even, I grew up on 8th Street Road in Miami. Like, that's not like the savory.
So you got a taste of everything, all types of backgrounds. So like, when you got into like the work field that's coming in, like, what did you like bounce around with? What you thought your calling was before you got into like the real estate? What did you bounce around to shape the January of today?
I think that's really funny because I used to tell my parents like I never wanted to be in real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to talk this back like way back.
Oh, I mean, like for over 10 years, I told my parents I would never do real estate. I used to tell my parents that's what y'all want to do. Don't make me do what y'all want to do. Y'all was grown. Your parents might have wanted you to do what you wanted to do, but you still want to do what you wanted to do. Like my tone track was just that. Like, I don't want to do real estate, and you can't make me do real estate because you do real estate. I used to sell cars, and right before my mom had one of her real sick spells, my mom was like, "I make more money selling houses than you make selling cars." I said, "Well, I sell more cars than you sell houses, so touche, my dear. You can't say that because you don't know how much money I make from selling cars." Man, that year we had that argument. It was the worst year in car sales in my life.
How old were you when you were selling cars?
I'm sorry?
How old were you when you were selling cars?
In my late 20s. So
Wow.
like that particular year, I'm outside, it's snowing, I got the drill and I'm cold and I'm like, oh.
The drill.
Yeah, we got to put the tags on. Salesperson put the tags on.
Man.
So, I mean, I had some sales fellas that was courteous, but if they weren't, I was outside putting them tags on myself. Right. So my mom's words started resonating. I'm cold, I'm feeling the tags, and I'm like, it's kind of cold out there. So it ended up being that they gave my mom 2 weeks to live back in 2013.
What?
And the doctors told us to come in and they told us to go ahead and, like you put on the garb and you got to put on like the head wrap and like the gown and the shoes and all the coverings and stuff. So like we're going in to see my mom and like we're taking turns. And I remember driving home one day and I told the girls like, this ain't it. I woke up one day and I was like, what kind of daughter would I be if I didn't live my mom's legacy? So in real estate, you're allowed 6 months to complete their book of business if you're not licensed.
All right, got you. So you got to have a sale within 6 months. So
no, everything that my mother was working on, did do, was doing, would have done, I had to wrap it up in 6 months, 180 days, all her business. Finito. No more Deborah, no more business, no more nothing.
Sheesh.
So I had to make a decision. And my decision was, we gotta go get this real estate license.
Yeah.
What kind of daughter would I be if I would have let my mom's legacy, everything that she worked for, everything she was working on, everything she was doing, just die in 6 months?
So just like in my field, I work in the financial field, you can pass your book of business to someone that has a license. Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But that book of business would only last 6 months.
Yeah,
There's no license.
I understand that, yeah.
So why would you, at that point, my mother had her license for like 19 years. So I was going to dissolve 19 years worth of community efforts and outreach within 6 months. So I started losing sleep. And so one day I walked up to the hospital and went into Murray, Washington, and I said, I passed the state and I failed the national.
So the state means you had to pass both before you can start making sales in the house?
But
so you only got to take that one part though when you go back?
Right.
I got you, okay.
So she looking at me, and my mom had tubes in her mouth, so she couldn't talk. So I'm like, yeah, I'm talking about real estate. So we looking at each other in a deadlock, like, because we just staring at each other like.
Because you can't talk with the tubes.
Right. So she's just looking at me, and I'm like, oh, get out this bed. We got to do real estate together. And my mom's looking at me like, I'm going to see you on the other side. And I'm like, no, you getting out this bed. So like we went through this exchange and then she calls me to the house. You remember like back in the day, like you don't do that shit no more, but like back in the day when your parents call you to the house, you had a big talk.
Yeah, at the dinner table or down.
But now she's sick though, so she can't get out the bed. So you gotta come upstairs in the upper room. You gotta have this conversation. So it's like, I trust you. I believe in you. You can do this. And back then I already knew I was gonna be a broker. Because I was like, I'm never gonna let anybody, especially the government, tell my mom how she's gonna live, how she's gonna make money, or what that looks like. Because how do you tell somebody that's been in real estate for over 20 years, I'm gonna regulate how you do business? It literally was a girl who wanted to make sure that her mother could have her book of business and do what she wanted to do.
Y'all heard that right? Broker owner own 3 franchises and do a nonprofit, pop-up pantry.
Well, it's not the pop-up pantry. That's the reason why we stepped back on Stepping with Leaders side, because we do wraparound services. We help with credit. We help with, like we did the school drive. We do back to school drives. We do water drives. I mean, we'll call the shelter, ask them what do they need. We'll provide those services. We cook for the homeless. So every holiday, Like even 4th of July that just passed, Mother's Day that just passed. We cook for the homeless for all of those holidays, as well as every Sunday we have a rotational pantry that goes throughout the DMV.
You got a website, anything you want to?
Our website is www.swlinc.org. We believe in
y'all hear that? Check that out one more time.
swlinc.org.
And this is like pretty much a conversation, because all the questions I have for you, answering them without me asking them for you.
Oh, sorry.
Your motivation was your mom. When you came up everywhere. You're a jack of all trades. Like, and pretty much like, I'm not going to ask you the relationship side of like how entrepreneurship and relationship side butt heads, because you pretty much wrapped everything up. But one thing I do want to ask you, if everything was a crash today and all you had was $200, what would you do with it?
Going back into the real estate.
Yeah, so
I mean, even if I gotta pay my phone bill, look, let me look into the camera and saying I'm gonna pay my phone bill.
No, you had to flip this. You had to this $200.
No. Listen.
Oh yeah.
Listen, real talk. I'm gonna pay my phone bill. Because let me tell you why I'm paying my phone bill. Because at the end of the day, business makes the world go round. I can't do no business if
everything
I ain't got no phone.
Everything on the phone.
My internet. You know what I'm saying? You might gotta play for me. You might need to call me.
True.
But if I ain't paying my phone bill, you can't call me.
So you would pay your phone bill, you would get some probate list.
Right, because then after that, because guess what? I could Google search
probate
people.
list.
No, people that's going into but I can do the probate too. But foreclosures, everything. I'm gonna unlock the internet with my phone, and I'm gonna just like go through and like literally. Like go through like with real estate, there's so many different ways to make money that it's like you were saying, probate. Yes, I could buy me a probate list for like $100.
Foreclosures,
Well, see, here's the thing about foreclosures. We're doing them a favor. We're doing them a courtesy. Most people go so aggressive that they don't understand. We're here to help them. So I'm gonna take that $200 and I'm gonna show the community like, yo, invest in me, and we're going to invest in this. So it's kind of like a crowdfund, but not, because I don't need you to crowdfund me. I just need you to believe in me and answer my calls.
In the deal.
Look, answer my calls. I mean, think about it. I got an MLS. So if I got $200, that means I can send listings.
Yeah. So what's the step to that? You had $200. You got to find your foreclosures, your probates. You got to write down all these addresses, and you go there.
I ain't gonna do all that. My first step with the $200, just call people. Hey, if you know someone that wants to sell or buy a house, please use me.
So tap in with a realtor.
And I'm gonna let them know you can use me because I'm trustworthy. You can use me because of this, and I'm just going like literally take that $200 and slowly work my phone.
But you think about, you've been an entrepreneur all your life. Even though you're working at a car dealership, you have to make those sales. You have to brand your business.
No, my parents parents, when we lived in Miami, my parents tinted windows, and I was passing out flyers, and my little JS was in the corner of them flyers.
You've been an entrepreneur all your life.
I get extra cookies. I needed my extra cookies, god damn it.
The extra
my extra cookies.
They paid you in cookies?
My parents paid me in snacks. God damn it. Look, snacks, extra allowance, all that shit. My parents tented the Omni Mall, and some people will know what that means and some people not. But the Omni Mall is one of the tallest standing malls in Miami. And before windows came pre-tinted, they had people that tinted those windows.
On scaffolds and stuff?
Yeah, my parents were those people.
Wow.
So they used to get contracts when I was growing up.
Everybody had to grind.
Yeah, so
like... So is this your DNA?
That's where it all started.
Update or plot twist. Her mother pulled through. She's well and healthy. She's healthy. And so that was the turning point. Your mother in the hospital, about to lose her book of business. And you're like, yo, I got to step up for mom. And ever since then, you never look back.
Never look back.
Never look back.
So being a broker is very unique at my age. I'll share this with the audience. Most brokers don't become a broker until they're in their 50s. And I became a broker 10 years before my prime.
So you just passed the course? And
So it's 100. So you have to be licensed 36 out of the 48 preceding months. No disciplinary action against your license. 180 hours on top of the 120 hours, and be current on all of your continuing ed. And then pass the monster test.
If you can go back and give young January one word of advice, or someone that's aspiring to be a real estate agent, investor, or broker, what would you tell them?
Real talk.
Get y'all pens and pads up.
A 25-year-old, he'll go to play. A 25-year-old, right? Beginning of the year, she go apply for a loan for a house. They tell my baby, 10% down. My daughter had the money. Wait. You gotta remember, 24 years old.
Age, DTI,
all of this. Yeah. So here's the thing. Told my baby 10% down. It was a good lender partner. Good lender partner of mine. 86th, the lender partner. I need y'all to listen to me. I need y'all to do this, that. I'm gonna tell you something. I've commended my kid because things that I tell 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds that have goals, want to make things happen, they don't do it. She went from 10% down to 3.5% down. 25 years old, closed on a 4-bedroom house with a pool. She got her degree in criminal justice, so they opening up a home plus. So they bought a house where the basement accommodates her family. The upstairs, she's turning into a senior living facility and has already gotten all of her licensure and had the house passed while we were going through the closing process.
Y'all heard the play.
Mom, the play, other half play. Mom, here. What was I? Referral agent. What did my baby get at the table? Calling the broker. Yeah, so I'm going to send you a referral deal, but I don't want my bread. Give it to my kid at the table. So I was on that altar. When my baby closed, my gift to my kid was my referral fee. Jeez. I was able to give my daughter my entire paycheck at the table.
I heard a thing now you can put like the kid on your payroll and use it as a tax write-off.
I got one better. My nonprofit, my daughter, their student loans, they been working for my nonprofit the whole time. Yeah. Forgive them for their student loans, please, and thank you expeditiously. So that's the thing, like us as parents, we were not educated, and if we don't seek that knowledge to change the trajectory of what we can, we won't pave the future we need to do for ours. I tell my daughter all the time, I'll be like, it's a shame. You're 25. I've been telling people for 10 years how to buy houses. My daughter masters it. Not only that, she does it when we have lenders in today's climate telling her 10% down. It's this, it's that. And she bought a house in Kansas, in the Midwest.
Wow. It's in the middle of nowhere then. Or in the city.
She's in Wichita.
Outskirts. Yeah.
So, I mean, beautiful home. Like I said, the main thing is being able to do the Homes Plus. Each room can hold 2 elderly patients. And she got a 4-bedroom.
That's nice, man. I heard something about when I was working in the medical field. They had like this sponsor placement, like $5K a month for a client, tax free. You gotta take care of them. And Medicaid pay for their medicine.
Until they pass.
There's so many liabilities with that, though.
No, but until they pass away, they'll live with my daughter. She's been taking all the necessary trainings, classes, everything. And I mean, I look at it like Mecca has always had that heart, so it doesn't surprise me. But it's like you said, the play is, how does a mother, 5 states over, creditworthiness, referral, everything, and show you how to make money? And the thing is, it doesn't matter. Like,
You give it a blueprint.
but here's the thing, it's to be repeated.
Yeah, rinse and
Like right
repeat.
now, my children and I are on a family call. We are what's called I can't think of the name of it right now, but basically nobody like. Do you realize I had to have my sidebar make it easier to say it? Black people are one of the only races that do not particularly, I won't say crowd fund, but like my daughter's credits are good. My credit's good. We all make money. I sell real estate. My money might be a little longer than theirs. But each member helps each member. No member is no lesser or no weaker. We have monthly conversations about how to get the bag. The play for the past couple of months was get the credit together, buy the house, do this, get in line for the next play.
Rinse and repeat.
So I ain't going to tell you what the next play is because it ain't a repeat, but you know.
I like what you said
play
earlier.
one done.
Your mom said earlier about the crabs in the barrel thing. Like, say, all the crabs in the barrel trying to pull each other down.
But crabs wasn't never in the barrel.
Yeah, crabs ain't supposed to be in the barrel.
Crabs wasn't never in the barrel. We put them in the
Maybe they
barrel.
pulling each other up out the barrel.
Right. But you don't know which direction they really pulling because right now they somewhere that's foreign to them.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be in the water, not a barrel.
Right.
That's crazy. That's a great analogy. I like that.
But that's the whole problem that we have. We as a people have been suppressed for so long that analogy, just think about the stigmatism that has followed us for so long with that one analogy. They've always compared us to crabs in a barrel, but nobody has ever said throw some water on us.
Instead of pulling each other down, you pull our resources together.
That's what I said. Ain't nobody never poured no water on us. Like, ain't nobody never poured water on us.
You heard it first. Legacy Group, Januari coach. You want to give any shout outs, anything you want to say?
I want to give a shout out to my entire crew for Stepping with Leaders. I appreciate all of the crew immensely. I appreciate the community immensely because it takes a village, straight up. Like, I appreciate the fact that whether it be the churches, the communities, the organizations, I want to give a shout out to my shelter. I know most people don't shout out shelters, but let me tell y'all something. Wraparound services is important. Being able to house our community is important. Being able to know that you have someone when there's no one is important. So I just want to take this time to say thank you so much to the Fredericksburg community for allowing me to be a part of the movement that keeps us moving. You know, we can't do anything alone, and there's never an I in team. And I just want to say thank you to all of those that contribute to the better of the greater good for the Berg.
Each one teach one.
Hey.